James Buchanan was the 15th President of the United States, serving from 1857 to 1861. James Buchanan was born on April 23, 1791, in Cove Gap, Pennsylvania. He had a distinguished career in politics, serving as a member of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, AUS, Congressman, Minister to Russia, Minister to the United Kingdom, Senator, and Secretary of State under President James K. Polk. Buchanan was elected president in 1856 as a Democrat, defeating the Republican candidate John C. Fremont and the American Party candidate Millard Fillmore. He was the only president from Pennsylvania, and the last to be born in the 18th century. Buchanan's presidency was marked by the growing tensions between the North and South over the issue of slavery. His handling of the Bleeding Kansas crisis, where violence erupted between pro-slavery and anti-slavery settlers in the Kansas Territory, further polarized the nation. Buchanan's administration was also impacted by the controversial Supreme Court ruling in the Dred Scott v. Sandford case in 1857. The decision, which declared that African Americans could not be considered citizens, and upheld the constitutionality of slavery in the territories, heightened sectional tensions. Buchanan's presidency ended with the secession crisis, as several Southern states began to secede from the Union. In response to Abraham Lincoln's election in 1860, Buchanan took a passive approach to the secession crisis, believing that the federal government lacked the authority to forcibly prevent states from seceding. Buchanan is often criticized for his perceived inaction in addressing the growing tensions over slavery and the secession crisis. Many historians argue that his failure to take decisive action to preserve the Union contributed to the outbreak of the Civil War. Buchanan's presidency is often viewed as one of the most ineffective in American history, with his inability to prevent the secession of Southern states, and his handling of the events leading up to the Civil War drawing significant scrutiny. However, some historians argue that Buchanan faced insurmountable challenges, and that his actions were constrained by the political realities of his time. After leaving office, Buchanan retired to his estate in Pennsylvania, and largely stayed out of public affairs. He remained a staunch defender of his presidency, and defended his actions during the secession crisis until his death on June 1, 1868.